This is the Henry's Child Podcast. Am I crazy? Or am I just raving?
If you were on Facebook this weekend, there's no doubt that you saw the announcement about the release show coming up on April 25th, 2020 at the Wow Hall. I dragged my feet a little bit on releasing it because I was waiting for the lineup to get finalized and the contracts to get signed. And the cool news is that we were able to get both Belle from Salem and King Black Acid from Portland to come play with us for our release show of Listen Closely. And if you subscribe to the newsletter list, you know that Listen Closely was the original working title of Mumbles and Screams, which is very fitting because what we did is we recently re-recorded a handful of the old songs from Mumbles and Screams, but in a new way. And they're not reimagined per se, but they're recorded in much better quality. And of course you have Toby and me playing on the record who didn't play the first time around. And it just sounds incredible. In fact, if you were on the newsletter list, there was a link on Wednesday that was released where I released some footage. It's not very great footage because it was shot on an iPhone, or I guess shot on my iPhone, I should say. But it's very cool because what it does is it kind of gives a little bit of a glimpse into what we were doing when it came to some of the auxiliary percussion, some of the little extra things that you'll be looking for when you listen to like the beginning of Failure, and really the background vocals for Human Being. So it was a lot of fun to put that together. And if you're not on our newsletter list, you really should consider subscribing because you get the first information that way. And the easiest way to actually subscribe is just to go to henryschild.com and click on downloads up on top. That's actually how you get to the section where you can sign up for the newsletter list. Anyway, I was able to solidify this set, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm going to be playing a couple songs from these guys, and once you listen to this music, you'll understand why it's going to be a really, really good fit. Let's go ahead and start off with some music from Belle. This is a song called Sticks and Stones, and it's from their 2014 release, The Inevitable Decline. Belle are fellow Salemites, and the reason I say that is because our studio is in Salem. Even though we live kind of all around the state, we do kind of get together in Salem and, for the most part, call Salem home when it comes to recording and rehearsal. So I think you're going to like this song. This is one of their more rockin' tunes, and this is also on Spotify too. So from The Inevitable Decline, this is Sticks and Stones by Belle.
Your
Man, talk about getting your blood pumping. That'll get you out of bed in the morning, right? Black Belle, Sticks and Stones. When I was talking to Brandon to set up the show, he mentioned that those guys are going to have a release party pretty soon too. And so I look forward to hearing new material from them. Being that song's 6 years old, so I wonder what they're up to now. And you can definitely find out on April 25th at our show, for sure. So the other band that's going to be playing with us is King Black Acid. I sort of discovered King Black Acid when a mutual friend introduced me to Daniel Riddle. And I went over to Mazinga Studios and had Daniel on this podcast. Anyway, we had a great conversation, and it was really fun getting to know him. Well, as I was leaving, he gave me a bunch of records and CDs of King Black Acid, and I was super stoked to check them out. And I just quickly fell in love with it. I mean, this music is amazing, and everything about it is very cool. And it's very hard to really define and synthesize what it is. So when I go see them live, their shows are really, really rocking. I mean, they are going for it. They're doing Brian Eno covers. Their bass player's playing a Gibson Grabber that I played on the Clearly Confused record. Not the same one, but the model just like it. And it was just a lot of fun to see them live. And on recording, they're really heady. They're very psychedelic. They're a little more kind of thinking man's music. And so I really had difficulty choosing a song to play on this podcast to get you guys amped up for it. Daniel is not only an accomplished frontman and musician, but he's also a producer as well. And he does some really great bands for Mazinga, bands like Queen Chief, and he did the Robert Winia record, Brave the Strange. So Daniel's been around a while, and he knows what he's doing. And that is why I'm so excited that they're going to be playing the show with us. And maybe from time to time, I'll be kind of touting a few more of his songs. They're really, really good stuff. And I'm not sure what the Rainbow Lodge is going to bring, but that's his latest incarnation of King Black Acid. So I'm very excited to hear that. But in the meantime, this is a single I found out on Spotify, and it's called I'm Rolling Under, and it's from 2014. And it's got a very, very cool video that goes along with it, too, that you can find on YouTube. So give this a listen, and I will see you on the other side of this song, I'm Rolling Under.
2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Born to sleep and sleep you shall, so close your eyes, relax. Dissolve the dark with hands of light. Your body is the sky. At night, at night, you're beautiful because you cry. Tears trapped in your mother's eyes. She's always gonna love you forever. The machines that dream to feel alive, they know you want the same. They call to you with jaws of life. You answer with a song. Let's hide. Let's hide. You're beautiful because you cry. The tears trapped in your mother's eyes. She told you that she loves you so and never wants to let you go. You're beautiful because you tried to hold on to the little child who always knows.
As you can tell, there's a lot going on there. Now you see what I mean when it comes to King Black Acid and Daniel Riddle. So yes, they're definitely going to be a very, very good fit for our CD release party. It's going to be really fun. So yeah, so mark it on your calendars. April 25th, it's a Saturday, 2020, down at the Wow Hall in Eugene. It's all ages, so anybody who you think should be into music that is not into music or you think that might like us, bring them. Bring the nephew, bring the cousin, bring your neighbor, everybody. This is the chance to see us live for the Mumbles and Screams release, which we never had at the Wow Hall. So it's a very, very special event for us. It really does mean a lot. So again, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter list, go to henryschild.com, click on downloads up on the top, and you'll be taken to a section in the middle of the page where you leave your first name and your email address. And you'll get a copy of Tell Me True that's not on the record, and you'll be on the list so that you get all the latest and greatest info. Of course, if you're not subscribed to this podcast, you should definitely subscribe. Hit the subscribe button either in Google Play, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, whichever you choose. And speaking of Spotify, I actually made a collaborative playlist, and I thought it would be cool to invite you to put in your favorite Black Belle, Henry's Child, or King Black Acid song into that playlist and maybe coax one of the bands into playing it. There's a link to the collaborative playlist in the latest newsletter, but I'll make sure to leave a link inside of the description of this podcast that I'm recording today. So thank you again for hanging in there with me to the very end here. I genuinely appreciate it. And don't be like stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start getting excited about what could go right. Thank you. Take care of yourself and those you love. Talk to you soon.